All right, what's up, everybody? Thanks for hanging out for the weekend. Much appreciated as always. It's a pleasure doing Game Over Cancer. It's always a roller coaster of emotions. I'm going to be finishing off the event. We're going to be doing some Metroid Dread. So for those of you that haven't seen it, obviously some spoilers ahead. We're going to be skipping cutscenes and things like that, so it's not going to get too out of hand. But we are going to be doing an any percent run. And I hope you guys enjoy. The game's absolutely phenomenal, and I really appreciate everyone that's helped out with the event. I will be taking over the helm for the end of it, so any final donations and things like that, I can see your messages, I will read off, and let's get this show on the road. Alright, so if you've played Super Metroid, you're kind of familiar with how we would start the game, so this is similar in the sense that we have a file that we've copied over where we've already viewed the intro scene, and we're basically just, you can kind of permanently copy that and utilize that because the intro is not skippable otherwise. All the other cutscenes in the game are skippable once you've beaten the game once. If you're looking for the best load times, then definitely go with the digital version. It is faster in terms of loads, which is certainly handy, even just for a casual experience. But yeah, this is Dread. The game's absolutely phenomenal.
So you guys want that I have this machine, there are one.
MS did a great job on the game overall. It's got a lot of different homages to other games, and it's got a lot of like callbacks, but at the same time feels really original. They've kind of brought back the counter system from Samus Returns, although it's not so heavily dependent on that counter system, which is nice. Because counters are nice. They're really great for like grabbing HP, for example, if needed, but you don't always want to be doing them. Alright, so now we're going to see if we can skip basically the tutorial. Oh, that was, we got the hang, but we didn't get the actual shot. So essentially we're doing what's called pseudo wave here, and you're going to see it a couple times in the run. But this is the section that would normally explain the whole EMI system, explain to you the concept that you're being chased and you have to get the Omega Beam. We skip all that. You can force your beam inside the wall in a number of different ways. So there's a couple different pseudo wave techniques that people come up with, which is really nice. Come pick your poison situation. There's some that are now being done with slides, like melees into the wall as well. The game's pretty generous. You can slide, and you're going to be seeing a lot of slides because unlike your typical Metroid, you're not going to be seeing Morph Ball right out of the gates. So they made really good use of the slide, and I felt like they kind of kept things going with the slide just long enough for it to be kind of really interesting. But it didn't feel like you were lacking. Like, it didn't feel like you were lacking options for the Morph Ball, which I thought was kind of cool.
Uploading data.
So this is Adam. Adam's back. If you've played Fusion, you're aware of Adam. Adam may not be all that he seems. Or at least right now. The game has a lot of similar mechanics to Samus Returns as well. So you've got kind of the free aiming that you can do. Yeah, overall, I feel like the game handles really well. The best compliment I can give it, I feel like, is that it feels like it was created... No, this is going to be dicey out of the gates. Let's see how this goes. It feels like it was created by people who enjoy Metroid games and played a lot of Metroid games. And I think that's the best compliment that I can give it. We're going to play this safe, because let's not start this off by getting caught by EMI. The EMI positions are set to a degree, so there's various positions that they can be in. Some are great, some are not so great. That was obviously not a great spot for him to be in. But you take what you get. This game does not shy away from suitless. So it has really some intended suitless sections that you will be seeing throughout the run. You're going to be seeing some unintended suitless sections as well. MS was really great about putting in some sequence breaks. There's a early bombs method that you won't be seeing because it's unfortunately not faster, but they put in a nice little quick kill cutscene. So they did a really great job of kind of like putting in sequence breaks, but we found a couple little exploits, and we're going to be using that to take it a little bit further. Okay, he's up top. That's fine. We can go this way. So for those that don't know, basically the way the whole EMI system essentially works is they're trying to track you down. They hear your movements and they get like notice of where you are. When an EMI captures you, it's difficult because you have basically 2 chances to counter, and they're very short frame windows. And what makes an EMI counter difficult is the fact that they always change their counter time frames. Like unlike other enemies that have consistent counter windows and things like that, when you're trying to deal with an EMI, you're basically dealing with just, hey, it's a random shot that you're going to be able to do this. Alright, so we found Charge Beam. Pretty standard. You can pseudo screw, hold the charge, nothing too fancy. There's some charge specific doors you'll be seeing like this that are kind of like unpowered. There's a first E-tank. There's like kind of a little bit of that slide off the edge tech. Oh. They were really generous about that. Like you can slide a good amount off a ledge. It's like we saw some Mega Man a moment ago. It's basically like we're playing Mega Man. For all you Mega Man fans, Samus can basically do the same thing at this moment. So we're making our loop back around now that we've got charge. Samus, please. Alright, this is gonna get interesting. Where are you going? Fun little quirk about EMIs is they can't really sight you when they're turning around corners. So sometimes it'll look maybe a little more scary than it actually is, but there's kind of a window of time where the EMI can't spot you. So that's what you're going to be... that's what you're going to hopefully utilize if you have to get around an EMI in a tight spot that's in a corner. Okay. Oh, that was a terrible shot. So we're basically trying to direct the flow of magma. As you saw, I just ran through kind of like this open tunnel area and there was lots of magma outside. We're going to be using this to open a series of doors. This game absolutely loves its different types of doors. Whether it be a normal door, a charge door, a magma door, a wide beam door. Oh, what else? Wave, plasma, boilers, there's beams. There's always beams. We know there's always beams. Missiles are great, but I'm not going to be going out of my way to collect really too many. We'll grab ones that are obviously in the way, but I won't be going out of my way for anything. There's like one missile plus pack that I will go a little bit out of my way for, and that's a very, very little bit. Missile plus adds 10 missiles, by the way. Alright, so we're seeing all these blue tracks. Can't do anything with them yet. Oh, I didn't initially remember, but we got there. Alright, so we're on to the central control unit. Outer shell we're going to use missiles on. Juicy insides, we're going to use just beam. Alright, there's a nice free missile drop. And we're equipped with the Omega Cannon. What is the Omega Cannon? Well, if we had have done the tutorial, it would have explained to us that it's the only way to defeat the enemies. The section that we skipped at the very start with the pseudo wave basically takes a damaged enemy unit. It doesn't have the facial shield spot or piece that you're going to see here, but it explains the whole concept of like initially defeating them using the Omega Cannon. And this is the first one that kind of introduces the facial shield piece. No big deal. I'm sure a lot of early players are probably like, oh, we're going to get Morph Ball. Oh, we're going to get Morph Ball. And like everything that you grab, you probably think, hey, it's going to be Morph Ball. I feel like casually, you probably won't see Morph Ball for a couple hours into your first play, for example. Alright, Spider Magnet. What is the Spider Magnet? Well, you all know the Spider Ball. Similar thing, those blue tracks that we've been seeing, basically you're going to be able to grip onto. Different things, like you can pull them, you can climb them. Oops. Yep. So it's like a familiar feel, but it's not quite the exact same. Nice little addition. First boss. Basically weak to the head, to missiles and charge shots, not to regular shots. So the game actually initially wants you to like, hey, shoot the tail. We're going to make all use of all of our missiles. We're going to try and kind of like guess the head spot. And we're going to try and get a few hits in here before we eventually destroy this. Oh, whoops. Nice D-boost out. Then we're going to counter. Oh, well. Was going to counter. Arguably faster not to, but it's going to be a little bit annoying not just being able to kill him easily. Alright, good enough. I didn't run into missiles, that's what I was a little bit worried about. We got the Phantom Cloak. What does the Phantom Cloak do? Well, exactly as you saw, it allows us to turn invisible. You're going to see a little bit of minor tech. You can call them like phantom slides. But essentially the game wants you to have limited movement when you're using your Aeon and your Phantom Cloak. But you can actually do that. You can activate a cloak at the start of a slide. And you can kind of do the slide while invisible, which saves a minor amount of time. It's some neat tech. We've gotten a few items. Head back this way. The game is very good about using areas over again. They repeat the use of early areas quite a bit throughout the game, and they're really good about making it dynamic. Like they'll really make the stage change, not only in just like look but in feel as well. They'll actively change the physicality of the environment. Arteria is an area that is supposed to fall victim to that, and with the current route that you're going to be seeing me demonstrate, we're not going to see that, unfortunately. I think we're going to see that in any case. Yeah, no, we're not going to be back to it. So normally, later in the story, this section of the map becomes frozen, and you have to work to unfreeze it. But due to a couple tricks that we're going to use, we're not going to have to do that. I'm just going to save a little bit of time. Guitarist, there's a door on the right. I'm just actually going to go through the wall to the left. Counter is really good for getting health back. If you ever do need it in a pinch, just like stop, counter an enemy, you're good. The game is also really generous with checkpoints, so you're not really going to see me take any saves. There's a few exceptions to that rule. There's a couple known potential crashes, and I'm not going to play with fire. They haven't happened to me, but I'm still going to just be responsible and take a couple quick safety saves where I deem it's appropriate. But the game otherwise is really good. If you take a death, it's not too punishing, the fact that it will send you back to your last checkpoint. And usually your last checkpoint is like maybe a couple rooms ago, if not just the last room. So the game's actually really good in that aspect. funky little railing systems going on. Phantom Cloak is something you're going to see very, very limited use of. It's kind of like a neat ability, and the game encourages to use it throughout the ME sections. The whole idea is like, hey, if the ME doesn't know where you are, you can use the Phantom Cloak, and you can kind of get away from it. And yeah, that's true, but at this point you kind of know for the most part what the ME's movements and pathing is going to be. So there's a couple things that you'll still see me use it for, but it's generally not something you're going to see me activate or use in the intended fashion. Alright, it's fine. The ME sections, like, they definitely achieved their goal in your first playthrough, but I feel like they kind of lose a lot of their effectiveness after your first playthrough because you know where you're going. For someone like me that's like, I love exploration, I made the mistake of trying to explore the ME areas long before it was wise to do so. Because once you destroy an ME, well then going back and actually searching out the rest of the section and discovering what you need to discover, well, it's nothing. But I just wanted to do it, of course, as early as possible. Oh, really? Yeah, there's a couple ways you can potentially lock yourself based on, I guess, intended routing and pathing. Because of how dynamic the map is, that's not surprising to me. They definitely wanted some flexibility in there, but there's a limit to how far that goes. Alright. More magma. Oof. Generally, the majority of the game isn't too dangerous in terms of the run. It doesn't mean that there's not dangerous or more scary spots, but overall, it tends to be pretty safe. There's a lot of enemies that do hit like a truck in this game, and I think that's one thing that maybe people feel in terms of difficulty and feeling like the game is difficult right out of the gates, is that, yeah, there's a lot of enemies that they will do more than an E-tank of damage, for example. They're kind of more reserved for your mini-boss status and like things like that, which is good and appropriate. But I for one felt like the bosses were actually pretty fair and really enjoyable. I felt like all the bosses have really good tells that, you know, it takes learning over time, which is not unusual. But stuff is typically really well telegraphed.
Uploading data.
Heavy stance of you are stuck.
Alright, another quick chat with Adam. Didn't fall down that pit like I typically do. You don't need to do anything special there. You literally just need to not fall down and hesitate. And for some reason, I'm just like notoriously bad at forgetting that room even exists. I guess I'm notoriously good at forgetting that room exists. A little bit hot and cold. All the ME areas tend to look the same. I think that's one thing that maybe a lot of people would struggle with, is that it's really easy to just confuse them because they all look the same. More magma shenanigans. And drain that for a little bit later. That blue one's an E-tank part, by the way. It's not a full E-tank. Full E-tanks are more of that, like, pink color? Purple? One of the two? Right there, on the right. Whatever we want to decide that is. Alright, that was really close. I could have been a little more patient on that, but we got out. If you get caught by the ME, it locks the doors. So had he actually caught me, and I accidentally snagged on the spider trail. It was a little scary. All's well that ends well. Oh god, enemy please. Oh, we got bullied. So you can see we're actually traveling back through an area where we just did. Nice E-tank. More magma switches. Oof. The game has a really good story aspect, in my opinion. I think it's really hard to kind of take in a world that we all know and love so much and do something with it, and at the same time, not only have it feel good or natural, but at the same time also have it feel fitting. And I feel like they took some risks, which is a good thing, and I totally appreciate what they did with it. We're obviously not going to be getting the full meal deal in terms of the story, but it's worth taking in if you haven't done so already. The movement overall is really nice. The controls, I think... The controls are super powerful, but it's a lot to take in. It's not unusual to kind of like flub your controls or have to consciously think about your controls. Because of how many options there are and how many buttons that you're utilizing all actively. The game also has a really big theme of sending you forward into areas and then back into areas again. So it's not unusual that they actually want you to go into a new area, get something, come back, and just like literally turn around and go right back to the previous area that you were just coming from. Trying to, it's a lot to memorize the rooms. Like the map is pretty big, so it's not unusual to get lost. Get the power going here. Or some of the power going, not all of the power going. This is 1 and 2. Next up on our list is going to be the wide beam. Classic us would call it Spacer. Formerly renamed the wide beam later. So I get the idea that they had these wave doors, but they generally tend to be pretty finicky and a little bit terrible. So it's something to keep in mind when you're dealing with them. Also, when you're climbing up ledges, if you can, it's possible and best to climb up them, opposed to actually just like letting Samus do, or sorry, jump up them, opposed to letting Samus do the climb animation. She has like a full actual, I'm gonna climb up this animation, and it's just so much faster if you jump up it. Alright, so previously mentioned point, we literally came here to get the wide beam, to go right back and use said wide beam. Treat yourself. Get the digital version. The loads are a wee bit long, and they're shorter on digital. And if you put it, if you get it digitally, put it on your internal system, because on the SD card is basically like the same load times as physical. Not quite as bad, but yeah. Alright, so we're back. Make use of this wide door immediately. Alright, another central core down. Right away, we're gonna try and get this enemy. Gonna be able to actually. Oh wow. That's not good. Yeah. So I've never actually destroyed it before it got under there. I should have waited and been patient. Realistically, I should have waited and just shot it when it came on the other side. But I figured I'd probably shoot it while it was coming through the gap there. Thankfully, very, very, very small time loss. Alright, that even felt a little bit early. I was like, oh no, did I not let him actually stand up? Alright, green Emmy has our morph ball. Casual me first plate through this probably took like 2.5 hours to get here or something, like 2 hours. Poking around and exploring, taking into account, of course. Slide still a thing. Actually even save a little bit of time by sliding into some gaps instead of just like using normal morph ball methods. I think you need to actually hit the head area if I'm not mistaken. And I think what happened is I fired when he was coming, like the first time I fired when he was coming through the morph ball slot, and he started to stand up. So I think I ended up just being low on my shot. I paid for my impatience. And then I didn't have flash or anything like that, so I was trying to think of how I could necessarily get over. If there is an easy way to get it there, I probably should have just been aggressive and jumped out. Alright, back here. You guys may recognize this from the start. Well, we're back again. This time with the ability to go into morph ball slots. Usual, there's just hidden blocks you can destroy. One last magma flow. Assuming we can actually step on the switch. No big deal. Don't know how that didn't open. I thought that was a shared shot, but okay. There's our Varia suit. Again, it's a little bit of a strange sequence of items. We just got Morphball, and now we just got Varia. Follow up. We don't yet have bombs. Anything like that, for example. Alright, back through red. So the first time you play, if you're like actually poking around the different areas and you're like, oh, I got a new ability, I want to go back and explore. A lot of your fast travel can kind of feel a little bit disjointed. Like there's a lot of teleporters and they only go from one to another. They're color coded. But at the very, very end section of the game, basically when you access the last area, it connects all of those portals together, which makes traversing those things and revisiting those things a lot easier. So if you want to explore early on, you kind of get a little bit punished for it, and then I feel like it really extends your playthrough if you end up doing that. I'm gonna do some deboost in here. This little dude. Oh. Deboost. Continuing the trend. We're actually just gonna get health down here anyways. Why even bother? Alright, and familiar face time. Oops, definitely not mean to throw the melee in there, that was nice. Alright, and now the gut. Essentially for the quick kill, there's a bomb slot that's available in here. If you were to go out of your way and get early bombs, you could shoot yourself with a morph ball launcher right into his like gross purple gut spot. Nice, alright, well, we were able to finish without getting knocked down. I don't have any missiles, which I'm going to have to take into account. There is an enemy right here that I can farm them from. And we get diffusion. Yeah, I didn't know about that until after. Like, I did full-on 100% without knowing that those things connected, just by the way that I did 100% without going to the final area. It makes Hundo so much easier because it just connects all the areas. And it, yeah, if you go about the game in a linear way, like, it actually feels really well connected. I'm not saying that's necessarily how you should or want to necessarily play your Metroid game, but my second playthrough, I was like, alright, I'm going to just do what I feel like I should do and not go back and go out of my way and see how this feels. And I was like, wow, this feels like it's actually really quick and like the whole thing was in a straight line. We're not doing intended route today, because any percent has far gone off of that in multiple routes in a very short period of time. There's a ton of people in the community that are absolutely just brainstorming tons of strats and routes and things like that. So there's to everyone that's putting in the work. Nori, howdy. Hope you're doing well. So this is going to be an attempt at early grapple. Alright, first try. So, going back to that whole you can jump out of slides thing, well, we're just gonna go and we're going to get grapple early via the back door. So this is essentially the exit to the intended grapple route. Thank you, appreciate the luck. The event went really well. Everyone, the rest of the crew has taken off. We did like stream house weekend, so there's a whole bunch of the other board members and the people that help out. We're actually just over here, and we worked off my PC and a laptop. Made it really great to communicate. Yeah, this is the final run of the event. We did 6 hours on Saturday, like 7 hours on Thursday, and then this has been going since Friday night. Nice shot. Only items with the same name can be swapped. That's pretty funny. Alright, so grapple actually kind of cool and really good in this game. Not only can you grapple on grapple points, and there are grapple doors, but you can actually grapple on all of the spider magnet stuff. Thank you, I'm doing it. Honestly, the Hades run was awesome. It was very odd being hands-off for the Wednesday, Thursday portion, but I was glad to see that everything went smoothly and everyone had a lot of fun. Now we get to close out the weekend with this. And oh my god, am I gonna sleep. I'm gonna sleep something fierce. Oh ho. We didn't really have any, like, formal schedule in terms of, like, before when we did it all remotely. We had defined shifts and stuff like that. But with everyone in the house, it's like, alright, we'll work something out, right? And it worked well. Everything was fine. It's just, it's not in my nature to operate that way.
Uploading data.
This area you are.
Basically along the whole way, Adams are telling us, oh, you're not powerful enough to take on Ravenbeak, who we met at the very start of the story, which you guys wouldn't have seen, because again, not viewing the cutscenes. Let's see what this enemy position is. Is it shitty? Not shitty. So this is one of the benefits of early grapple. We can come out here. We can make this a little bit shorter. You have strong opinions about Adam? He was no longer Adam? Dun dun dun. My brain was actually just waiting for a message that the thing was done, like the action was done. Like all the Magma ones. That's not how that message works. Alright, bombs acquired. Probably like, holy heck. Just with this morph ball and bombs being so deep into the game. Alright, we're gonna be heading out this way with our newfound bombs. Actually gonna be putting that early grapple to use again over here. Underneath. Oh, well, put one under. Fine. Ah, Missed the Dagum. Dagum came up with this little strat where essentially you fall off that ledge and you thread into that single gap with the morph ball. Shaves a very, 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 very small amount of time, but it's always swaggy to hit it. I had one run where I hit both passes because you come through this section twice. The run with the double Dagum. Get your tram jams. Alright, Berenia, welcome. You've arrived. What is Berenia, you say? Well, another area where we're going to be making use of this early grapple. Save a little section. Guy's annoying. He's basically always going to hit you. I don't think there's actually a way around him without getting hit. You learn some morph ball tunnels are strange and some are like, well, I'll say normal and strange, but some of them unmorph you automatically when you come out of the tunnel and some of them don't. Say goodbye to him. Grapple up there. Underwater, not fast. Do things like that. Good damage here. Over. And one more use. Early grapple. We get the flash shift. So flash shift is going to be a tool for battle. It's going to be a really great movement option, especially in cases where speed booster is not going to be viable or necessarily the fastest option, because of just like general build-up time to get speed booster going and the distance that you'd necessarily need to benefit from it. So your Aeon, I guess I could have explained back with Phantom Cloak, but your Aeon is handled by the yellow beam, or the yellow bar, sorry, underneath your health there. You can only activate it when it's full. That includes all Aeon abilities. So things like the dash, for example. You can dash up to 3 times in a single bar of Aeon. But if you use one, for example, and then you use one and then you kind of let it go, you need to actually wait for it to fully refill. Oops. You know what, everyone's done phenomenal. I knew there was always going to be a time where we couldn't necessarily top last event, and if we collectively include this event and the spring event, we still raised, after conversion to Canadian, stuff like that, it's going to be something ridiculous, like $10,000 between the two events this year. So nothing at all to be worried about there. You guys have done phenomenal. Wait for it. Iron. So you're gonna see me using that flash step. That said, Speed Booster has some really sweet movement in this game. That's pretty scary. Oh god. Once again, gonna be a quick retry because it's just outside the enemy area. I flubbed my one grab there. Oh, that's not good. I didn't know you could actually go that side. Well, I learned something today. You can go on the right. You're too fast. Alright, third time's the charm. Maybe. Alright, we're gonna play it risky, I guess, because he just decided that he was going to be there again. My god, he does not want to give us a break. But we're through. Rude. Another core. Boop. Another Omega Cannon. Also, this is the speed booster Emmy, so if you're wondering why is this Emmy so fast? Well, this Emmy is so fast because it's the speed booster Emmy. Try and get on this right away. Like nothing. Alright, so speed booster Emmy, a little bit trolly. Never seen the right side of that. Never seen him go right side of that pattern. The more you know. Speed booster is amazingly powerful in this game. So it's got all of your typical speed booster uses, but then you're gonna see stuff like this. They really wanted you to enjoy your speed booster. I feel like the 100%, some of the puzzles in Hundo are just amazing. So much fun. They're really creative. You can spark, like you can do ball spark, you can spark in different directions. Basically think of Zero Mission but on steroids type of scenario. Alright, so we're going along here, and this is where we would normally route in grapple, but we got grapple early, so we're actually just going to go up here. There we go. Alright, first visit to Ferenia. Oh, they do. There's somebody in chat that could probably help you with that. I don't have the direct to site ones in front of me. I have the Streamlabs link ones in front of me. But if you tag someone like Tugboat or Azuma, for example, you should be able to get that added to the total. I was going to ask if that maybe happened. Nice. Oh. Just. My friend, that is not a just number. Alright, so these guys are actually weak against Speed Booster. We're going to run into him for a little bit of damage. We'll make sure that we get the message and everything over to Tugboat. Will add that in. He's awesome like that. Thank you for the heads up. I was going to ask you if it didn't appear shortly that was possibly the case. I know there's been a lot of people that have actually been donating via the website, which is awesome and also slightly confusing to us. Only because, like, I don't know how so many people this event found the website, but they did. The only place I think it's listed is on the schedule. But thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. That panel should be disabled. I usually disable my personal dono link during... Oh, sorry. The GOC website. Okay. I took that for a moment. I was like, no. I was like, there's no way that got sent to my personal donos. I was like, I purposely disabled that link. But you mean the website link. Oh. Had me sweating there for a moment. No, that's totally fine. We can get someone on that for sure. Shut up, Adam. Got more important things to tend to. Alright, so we're gonna make our way back. We have speed booster. Again. Name of the... Oh, we got a single dagum. We got a single dagum, folks. Tram Jam's heading left. Alright. So, just like that, it should be like halfway done. Actually a little bit more than halfway done. We've taken a couple deaths, but they've been quick, which is nice. One thing that's a little bit odd in this is your speed booster is click to activate, which is a little bit odd. I think if you would have asked me what I preferred, maybe auto-activate similar to Zero Mission. I still grab this 10-pack because it's not that far out of the way. I always forget that guy is there. Hey, what's up, Figgy? Hope you're doing well. Okay, so you're actually going to not see two bosses in this route. One of them you're going to skip is basically here. Oh my god. Alright, first try on both of those. That is not an easy pseudo to do. So I'll take that. Yeah. Holy heck. So that was 2 for 2 on attempted pseudo shots to skip that boss. There's a different method that's actually a little easier and more consistent. I just haven't bothered to learn it yet, so I went with the old method, but that just happened. AM2R is great. I love AM2R. I do enjoy Samus Returns, though. I will say that if you haven't enjoyed Samus Returns yet, it's worth a go if you have a 3DS. No idea why I didn't get my speed booster there, but okay. also super low on health. I'm gonna have to play this real safe. I'm gonna have to play this real safe. These guys hurt a lot. Unfortunately, I'm gonna lose quite a bit of time on this kill. Oh, that was mean. Likelihood that I'm gonna die just went way up. Oh god, I'm also out of ammo. Oh! Alright, that was a bit scary. Holy heck. Thank you. It was, frightening. Like, let's not just run into stuff.
Uploading data.
Samus, you won.
Man, why don't I ever get to work with the monkeys? Wrong way. There's our super missiles. You can actually, fun fact, you can sequence break super missiles early, but it's not worth it. Because they don't do anything for you in terms of your route, and they don't do enough damage to really mean anything significant by doing it early. I'm gonna do this for some health, because I got that. I just forget that you're supposed to just use a charge shot here. There's Scar Freak. Been doing a ton of work on this game, and he also regularly forgets that you can do that. And we're on the road again. Out of Gavorin. Over to Ellen, smallest area of the map. Alright, so you're going to start seeing some things, and it maybe won't add up unless I start putting some details to some of the story here. But essentially, we're on the verge of releasing the X. So the X from Fusion, you haven't really seen anything on them in this game. Right now it's been basically the antagonist, Ravenbeak, who's been pursuing you, and you've been running from the Emmys. And essentially, we're going to release the X from this area. Just gonna have a whole like chain reaction of things that happen as a result. So each room in the game basically has a pre and a post X state, if you will. So the rest of the world is going to become infected with X. All enemies are then going to become X, and you're going to be able to absorb them like you can in Fusion. Ravenbeak, who is actually a guy that can control the Metroids. He was unfortunately killed. He's going to actually get taken over. This is real scary. Whew. My god. Can't fool around with this one. Don't have that much health. Normally you can just tank a lot of these hits, but my health situation is not great, so. Alright, there we go. It looks like we have that processed. I saw it flash across screen. It's going to maybe take a moment to come up in this area. Also, I'm going to try and avoid this crash. Carter made me aware of this crash. I'm just going to do that. Apparently, if you shine spark through that enemy, you can crash the game. I've seen it happen to 2 people now. Back to Gavorn. Alright, more than our total. We are now at 3,015 and 30 cents US. I am not going to push that goal one more time, but thank you so much, Nori. I really appreciate that. As you mentioned earlier, it was 501 Canadian. It worked out to, I guess it converted to 405.36 US. That's absolutely phenomenal. Thank you. I'll be announcing details for the next GOC once we finish this run too. We have thought about that, and we've kind of already talked about what's next and what to do next year. So if you guys are excited about those details, and you want to kind of know what's going to happen, make sure you stay tuned. We're going to have those details at the end of this. Man, my mom's whole side just cancer. So unfortunate. My best friend, locally, same thing. Lymphoma when he was a teenager. I would like one more dash there. We're going to see how this is going to pan out. Oh, I missed. Real bad. Yep. I missed a flash. Once again, it's going to be a really fast one because we're inside the enemy zone. I missed a flash, and then I flubbed actually getting up into one of the spots and flubbed the flash again. There we go. Alright. It's not even the hard part. The hard grapple, I would argue, is that one. Apple please. Now we're going to do a water bomb jump. So we're basically going to set up this trick, and I'm sorry it's already over by the time I'm going to explain it. You set up the trick by doing a bomb jump underwater and not letting Samus touch the ground in Morphball form. Oh no, run please. I'm not going to get to... I probably could still speed booster this, but I'm not going to try for the difference that we make at this point. Essentially you lay a Morph Bomb and you do a bomb jump. You can get to see this later. And you don't let Samus touch the ground in Morph Ball form. You unmorph before you touch the ground. And then what you do is you place a bomb in midair, and when you bomb jump, you'll actually get more height off it. So you're setting up the amount of height that you're going to get off the bomb jump. Go down. Yeah, he went down. That's a little annoying. Oh, I lost him. That's not great. That was real close. So the Ice Emmy, the gimmick is basically as soon as it spots you, it freezes you. It'd be really frustrating to deal with because it doesn't even have to like spot you as getting fully caught. Just like if the thing passes over you, you're frozen. Normally you do a speed booster into that central computer section and you'd shine spark it. But also fun fact, we were supposed to get double jump, or as it's called in this, spin boost, before here, but the water bomb jump saved us having to get spin boost, and we're never going to get spin boost. Your stepfather will hate this. I apologize in advance to your stepfather. Game has a lot going on in the best way possible, but it has a lot going on. Alright, so normally it wants us to get spin boost, and then I'm trying to think of what intended routing would be. But we're basically going to go and we're going to break early space jump, which is going to lead into early screw attack. So normally, as I mentioned earlier, the way the screw attack progression is supposed to go, you're supposed to get it after gravity suit. You visit when the area is frozen. You have to go and find a way to unfreeze the area. We don't want to do that. That takes too long. So we're going to do some shenanigans first to get space jump early with some bomb jumps. It's worth noting that wall jumps in Dread work like they do in Samus Returns, if you're familiar with that. You can't wall jump in a single tile gap. It's not possible. I'm not sure where my speed booster went. So that's important to note for the upcoming trick. That very much kind of changes the context of what it is. Yeah, we're gonna try and do some shenanigans here. Oh. Again. Too early. I remember I can slide farther off that. Alright, there we go. So it's a series of 3 bomb jumps in a row to destroy these blocks early, and because you can't actually wall jump up the single tile gap, you need a way to kind of get up there as the first one is respawning. So you do the first one off the ledge, you do the second one with a little slide up into the gap, and then you do the third one off the ledge as well with the wall jump. Now we got space jump. Space jump is a little bit unique in the fact that you can use it underwater in this game. You can't gain any height with it until you have gravity, but you can use it. Right, I forgot about that. Oh no. There we go. You can use that enemy as a step stool if you freeze them, which is funny because like very few enemies in the game actually allow you to freeze and step on them. Oh. Go. Alright, so you're like, alright, so we got space jump. You're like, no big deal. This isn't the end of the world. We got space jump early. You know, you were just going to get double jump anyway. It can't be that big of a deal. And in intended routing, you get space jump fairly fast after getting double jump, which feels a little like a moot point. But we're still going to do this a little bit out of order. I will say this, I feel like NES Metroid, and I'm sorry to those that love it, has aged like milk, and I cannot play that game. I love Super Metroid. I was a late bloomer, and I love Super Metroid when it comes to that. My first Metroid was Metroid 2 for Game Boy. Alright, so we're actually going to go down this way. Over here. Spark up. We're going to take yellow teleporter. All these shortcuts. There's a couple different ways that you can do that early space jump as well. You can do it with cross bombs, because you can sequence break cross bombs. There's not really a huge use within the run, and you only really need to get them otherwise to get into one of the ending sections. So you won't typically see us get cross bombs early, but some runners will, because it makes that space jump section easier as well. There's a pseudo wave that you can do, which is really finicky. But there's a pseudo wave that you can do also to get into that area. There we go. Alright, so we're back down in here. Hello? Ledge? Thank you. We're actually not protected against cold yet. Despite the fact that we have Varia Suit, Varia Suit's not protecting us against the cold. Grab that. And the way that heat and cold damage works in this is it actually amplifies over time. So it starts off small to kind of like give you that warning period of time, but then it's like it increases in the amount that it does per. And we're gonna do another water bomb jump here. We're gonna do some deep dive space jumps. Try and play with some ledge physics here. Alright, there we go. Not normally supposed to be able to jump out of there. Another water bomb jump. And we have screw attack. This wasn't found that long ago. I mean, obviously the game didn't even release that long ago, but there's been quite a few different routes so far that have been proposed and tried. This one wasn't even found that long ago. One more ledge abuse here. Very nice. Super clean. Bust that. I'm going to make use of space jump to get up this section of slopes. Oh, Nestroid is just so rough. I can appreciate it got us where we are now, and I love it for that, but I cannot play it myself. I feel the same way about Zelda 1. And like I can watch Zelda 1 randos and I enjoy Zelda 1 speedruns. Casually, I feel like Zelda 1 is such a slog. There's no indicators for bomb walls or anything like that, or like what's destructible. Oh. Alright, so we're actually gonna take the orange teleporter next. This is going to put us back near cross bombs. This is going to take us back to Gavorin. We're still going to go a little bit out of order here. Normally the game wants you to get storm missiles, which is another missile upgrade a little bit earlier. We've not done that yet. What we are going to do though is we're going to go back to this area and we're going to get early gravity. Oops. There's some shot blocks here, but then some of them are actually bomb blocks. Okay, so early gravity, pretty simple. Shine spark down here. Shine spark through the water. And we're gonna take the green teleporter. Early gravity is a lot of fun. We've known about early gravity for a while, and it's kind of existed in different forms and in different ways, but I don't think it's necessarily going anywhere, like, from the run in totality. Four of 4. Nice. Aw. Should have just done my normal. I decided I was going to try and carry it a little bit longer, and I got greedy. So it's going to cost me, unfortunately. It's going to be harder to get the spark now. Okay, there we go. Okay, take 2. Let's not get greedy this time. You come out here to your missile 10 pack. Bust through the wall. Ta-da! Alright. Magical pancakes, here we come. Yeah, the downward spark is so sweet. This game has a really unique property too, which I absolutely love, where if you hit any of the speed booster blocks in the chain of speed booster blocks, it actually destroys all of them, which I think is great. Alright, so these guys definitely don't enjoy screw attack. You do still lose some health, so you kind of need to have some mindfulness when you're doing stuff like this, but... Got him dancing. Take the green teleporter back. The downward spark works in regular and in ball form too. It's pretty sweet. Alright, so the boss where we get cross bombs. Nice. Core. Speed booster. And cross bombs, I guess, if I have to. The first time I've ever gotten like the proper full shine spark strat on that boss, so that's kind of sweet. Aw. Disagree, game. Okay. Really disagree. The only reason we actually need to get cross bombs is because we need to get into this side of Hanubia. I don't blame you. And it's totally in my nature too that like I'll get an upgrade and I'll go out the door and obviously should be prompted to immediately do the thing that I just got. No. That's not how my brain works. Alright, so a few items left. We've got storm missiles, we've got wave beam, we've got power bombs left to get. I'm not going to try that. I thought about, you can do pseudo, like, kind of a pseudo grapple strat, essentially. The grapple from the other side. I've not tried it, so I'm not going to try it on a whim. I'm gonna enter this area just to leave this area. I'm gonna go back to Ferenia. Now normally the game just wants you to come back here for the storm missiles and then eventually for wave. We've kind of done this all out of order. I'm not gonna lie, I don't even think I remember fully intended path anymore at this point. I know the multiple speedrun routes we've done since. I don't remember intended route. Oh, where am I going? The answer was the wrong way for a brief second. Just learned there was a missile block there not that long ago. Handy to know. He's weak to speed booster and screw attack. Looks like I'm being a little bit cautious here. And because I've seen a crash there too. I've yet to experience one, knock on wood. But I was thinking I probably should have taken a safety save before that one in case it happened. We didn't. So here we are. Alright, onward. So storm missiles are essentially, if you've ever seen them in other games, they're basically your scatter missiles. Ding, speed booster, screw attack. Alright, now we're gonna make our way out to get Wave Beam. Oh no! So the wave enemy, of course, can shoot you through walls and stuns you, as most people would probably expect. Oh my god. Oh! Speed booster does work for that. Normally you'd speed booster then screw attack. Home stretch, folks. Oh, he did the thing. Of course he did the thing. So why wouldn't he? He was gonna try and creep up behind me through the crumble blocks. I thought I'd left enough time, but apparently I hadn't. Regardless. Get equipped with extra purple. Alright, and now we have almost everything we need. We just need to get equipped with power bombs. Means back to Hanubia. Honestly, other than the few silly ME deaths, which are not that time consuming, everything else has been pretty solid. to the infamous laggy fight. Now I've got your power. So essentially this is where in the story the bomb drops that you're becoming a Metroid. And the DNA that you share with a certain Chozo tribe has helped kept this in check, but essentially those powers are starting to awaken. And that's why the big bad guy has been interested this whole time. No power bomb drops. Bad. We're gonna refill here. Didn't get any drops. I should just done my normal strat. He was that close too. I was hoping to basically move him onto this phase, so I didn't have to worry about the shield. More booping of the snoot. Alright. Final area, let's go. Alright. Touching back on Nori's donation, I realized I'd seen it and I had to uncover the donation message. Now that I have a moment to do so with this loading screen, was, well, I hate seeing a goal not met. Screw it, because GOC is so much fun, because Strizer is such a cool cat, and because cancer sucks. Here we go. Thank you again so much, man. Thank you everybody that's contributed throughout this event. As always, it's my pleasure putting it on. I love featuring different runners. All the people that help to host and things like that are absolutely phenomenal. So thank you everybody. I am really excited and humbled as always as what we're able to do with what we're able to do as a group of people that just enjoys video games. Final boss time, Ravenbeak. The big bad, aka the big dad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm actually going to be doing something here where I'm trying to bait out a counter, essentially. So we got 9 shots. I'm going to wait for a natural counter. Fire another missile. move him on to phase 2. Ow, that was rude. Alright, phase 2 done. Here we go. 1, 2. Raven beak down. Remember I said we were a Metroid? We are very much a Metroid. Oh, and look, it's Craven. I'm waiting to charge up here because you actually trigger this at a certain point when he reaches here getting hit by the beam, and it's slightly faster. Give him a few steps. We just passed my PB pace, by the way. My PB pace is a 3710. Still gonna be very happy considering the couple Emmy grabs that we were subject to. The old hyper beam going. I feel like I'm a little bit disappointed you can't use Flash while you're in here. Alright, the obligatory Shine Spark. Oops. Well, we got the cinematic. I meant to morph, so we avoided the cinematic, but we got the cinematic. Alright, here we go. And time. Oh, well, I hit time. Not stopping. There we go.
You drain the ship of its energy.
Oh, I was clicked on my... I know I was clicked on my bot. Alright, so 138, I want to say 45, 44, something like that. Thank you for the GGs. Appreciate it, everybody. So this is Quiet Robe. You guys wouldn't have seen him due to us skipping the cutscenes, but Quiet Robe was one of the Chozo who was from the tribe that could control the Metroid. It's eventually killed and taken over by an X. And that X is now going to merge with you. And the best explanation I can give is that because it was from the tribe that can control Metroids, you were able to control the Metroid within. and boof. Because of course the planet has to explode. We will skip the credits so we can at least get through to the in-game time. And that's gonna put a cap on this fall GOC. 151.17 in-game. See you next mission. See everybody next mission. Thank you everybody. The runners, the commentators, the volunteers, the hosts, everyone that submitted for the event, the donors, of course, everyone that contributed to the wonderful cause, all the money going, of course, to the Canadian Cancer Society. I greatly appreciate it. I'm really passionate about these events. I love putting the time into them and into scheduling them. I love bringing together people from all of the different communities that I've been part of in the last few years, or geez, 5, 6 years, 6 years, 7 years, something like that, that I've been doing speedruns. And it's always amazing what we can do when we come together and we work together for a cause. So thank you everybody. We've got some prizes, which I will not be doing the prize draws tonight because I am absolutely tired as heck. We've had this stream going since Friday night. So we've been going for more than 2 full days at this point. In addition, we also had the Wednesday and Thursday portion. So yeah, we will do a separate prize drawing day. We will get all the names in that. We've got a couple hurler sets, got a tumbler and t-shirt combination and stuff like that. And that about does it. So thank you guys. Hang out. We are going to raid somebody because of course we're going to send the love on. Next GOC will be spring of 2022, or at least the next online speedrun event. Keep an eye out in my Discord for details on that, because we're hoping next year to bring back more of the physical side of GOC. GOC has always been, Atlantic Canada's largest console event or whatnot, essentially is how it was coined and how it originally came together. So I love doing the online stuff, and I've enjoyed doing a spring and fall event for the last 2 years. But I think next year I'm hoping that we can bring it back to a single event online, and we can do more of the in-person events again. It'd be phenomenal. Obviously, we're gonna have to play it by ear and see how that goes.